One of the most important questions gets asked by consumers, farmers, employees on what is organic all about? What is organic food all about? What is organic agriculture all about? Why organic agriculture is important? Why we need to embrace organic farming? How it actually is helping entire ecosystem? I want to dwell a little bit detail into these aspects on organic food. If you really look back, not many years, maybe 75, 80 years back, and look at our agricultural practices, what we used to do then and what we are doing now. Then also we used to produce food, now also we are producing food. So what has changed in 75 years? After post World War II, there's a huge change in the way we do farming. One of the reasons we keep saying is, we need to feed the population. My question is, yes, of course we need to feed the population. Of course we need to increase the productivity. Of course we need to make people available with good food. But we should also really understand what are the implications we are doing on a long term on our health, on the soil, on the earth altogether. So post World War II, the way we have started farming, it is called industrial farming. Huge tracts of land, monoculture, lot of external inputs in the name of productivity, in the name of feeding the world. In fact, what exactly we have done is exactly opposite to what is supposed to happen. We are contradicting those statements. Today, our lands are less productive than what it was 75 to 100 years back. The food what we produce today is less nutritious than what it was 100 years back. Food we produce today is laden with lot of pesticides, lot of chemicals, and lot of unwanted things. What I am talking today, it is the production at the farm level. I am not even talking of the processed food. That's a different problem altogether. Today, as part of organic farming understanding, we should go really deep into farming side what's happening. And later on, we can really understand what is happening with the processed food. There is a book by Albert Howard. The book name is An Agricultural Testament, that documents agricultural practices in India before World War II. Then amazing documentation of what we used to do in farming. But unfortunately, in last 100 years, we have lost that entire practices. Organic agriculture is going back to our past and understanding what they used to do, how they produced food, what was the science behind it. In my opinion, that's what constitutes organic farming. What is organic food? It's a very pertinent question today. This is all about what farmer does in his farm, what tools he uses, what spray he does, how he takes care of the land, how he takes care of the microbes in the soil, what he does with the seeds, where the seeds come from. Does his farm is full of bees? Is this farm is full of microbes which are actually converting nutrition in the soil to a plant consumable form? Does the farm, you understand, our nitrogen, 75% to 80% of nitrogen is in the air. It's not there in the soil. And there's a beautiful ecosystem where soil nitrogen can be fixed into the soil. So does the farmer have a very good dicots which can fix nitrogen into the soil? These are some of the very important aspects of organic farming. I also want to say what organic farming is not. Organic farming is not about replacing a conventional farming, which with lot of external inputs, you replace those external inputs by organic inputs. No, that is not organic farming. Organic farming is how to make a regenerative farming possible. How do you cut down on external inputs? You can ask, what are external inputs? Today, urea, the phosphates, or DAP I am talking of. Any of the chemical fertilizers which are coming in, they are external inputs. Even if you buy your cow dung and from a neighbor and put it into your soil, it's an external input. Your sprays is an external input. Seeds you buy to do farming is an external input. The tractor you use to plow the land is an external input. The question is, can we do farming without these external inputs? In my opinion, that is organic farming. Next question, hey, you know what? What you are saying seems to be not practical. Indeed, it is not. For a farmer, for all of us who are used to industrial way of farming, this looks impractical. But this was exactly what was done 100 years back. We produced our food, which was clean. We took care of the soil. We took care of our entire ecosystem. We took care of our bees. We took care of everything in that farm in a holistic manner. We can always go back to that past and we do farming which can be more advanced than today's science, what it is saying about farming. Next question it gets asked is, you know what? I've been hale and healthy. I'm eating conventional food. Nothing has happened to me. That question, is self-defeating argument. Lot of people do smoke cigarettes, BDs. They're still healthy. That doesn't mean you need to smoke cigarettes and BDs. And there's a proven data that over a period of time, eating unhealthy food actually is going to get you down very badly. And that's the point of no return. We need to take care of ourselves. From a consumer point of view, it is very critical we understand our food, where it comes from. If you don't understand, it's a mistake. So, fundamentally, what we should really understand as a consumer from a food point of view, maybe consumers might not have a lot of interest in farming. It's perfectly fine. Not a problem. We'll understand farming in deep little bit, but from a food standpoint, consumers should start questioning the food they are eating. Where it came from, who produced it, how it was produced, at what cost it was produced, is the producer properly remunerated? These are some of the important aspects in understanding food. This can only be done by consumers, nobody else. So as a consumer, we should wake up. This is the time we wake up, start questioning our food. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter which brand it is, you should start questioning. That is when awakening happens. That is when you start discovering what should I call, truths about the food what we are eating. Today, the food what we are consuming is no less than a disaster. Every aspect of the food is questionable. Next question, from a consumer point of view, hey, all is fine. How should I know where my rice is coming from? How should I know where my milk is coming from? How should I know where my sambar pudi is coming from? Is it practically possible? Yes, it is possible. We need to make an effort to really understand, where it is coming from. Just leave aside the processed food for time being. It's a bigger topic. But let us come to simple ingredients. What are the ingredients? Rice, dals, your groceries, greens and vegetables, milk, your cheeses, your butter or your ghee, whatever could be the ecosystem it exists in your kitchen other than the processed food. You can actually trace its source if you are really interested to know. And if you are serious about your health, if you are serious about knowing what is happening in your body, you should actually start questioning the food what you are eating. So there are two main certifying bodies in the country. One certification body issues India Organic. Second certification body issues Jaivik Bharat. India Organic is issued by ABIDA. Jaivik Bharat is issued by FSSAI. These two are the two premier bodies in the country who control organic narrative. Any pack, not only Akshayakalpa, any other pack, if it carries these two logos, India Organic and Jaivik Bharat, they are organic. They have permission to use that logo. They have gone through the organic production systems, processes, organic farming systems, which comply to organic standards defined in India. Consumers can also ask, hey, anybody can put that logo. At least from Akshayakalpa standpoint, what you should really articulate is, probably we are the only company in the country right now, any consumer who is interested, who can actually visit our farms, understand what is organic production, organic farming, organic food is all about. You can go to our website, akshayakalpa.org, go to the farm visit section, book your appointment. You can stay there for a day, stay there for 2 days, stay there on a weekend, stay there on a weekday. Any day is possible. Book your appointment, go with your family, friends, and you can see what is organic production is. So this is the level of conviction we believe we should have on the food what we are producing along with our farmers. So in summary, there are two ways consumers can understand organic food. One thing is the labels. Reading the labels they need to understand. Second thing they need to understand is they can go and physically verify. These are all very good. But what else they can do? Actually, technically they can send this food packet for testing on chemical residues. They should comply to organic chemical residue standards. Or what they can do is they can ask us, Akshayakalpa, to provide a test certificate from a Nabl certified lab. we are happy to provide that. Nabl approved laboratory is a Government of India initiative to bring food safety systems in front of the consumers, where consumers can actually understand, oh, this certificate is valid. First thing what you see here is, how do we look after our cows? They get to know how do we look after our cows, how cows have been treated, how they are not tied, water is available 24/7, what happens if a cow falls sick, what kind of staying facilities cows have, how the calves are looked after, what feed actually cows eat, where the feed comes from, where the fodder comes from. All these aspects they can come to know in a farm visit. They can verify it. The second aspect, it is written here, where the fodder is coming from. Cows are eating fodder. Where it is coming from? It is coming from soil. They will come to know how are we managing our soils. How are we building a diversity in our soil? How are we integrating crops? How are we growing our fodder? How are we making it a fodder? Soil management is a key in organic farming. They can verify this. What is that soil management I am talking of? It is about not using chemicals. It is about how we are not getting external inputs to manage soil, how we are saving rainwater, how are we irrigating the soils, how are we building the soil carbon content. All these aspects play a very important role in soil management. The third important aspect is, how do we take care of the milk what you are receiving? This milk can be directly consumed or made through a product or a paneer or a ghee or a cheese or whatever. But what do we do? For example, if a cow is ill and we inject an antibiotic to treat the cow, can you drink that milk? No. 60% of the antibiotics which you inject to a cow actually comes out in milk. That is a disaster for our health. These are very, very important aspects. In any organic farming, the intervention of an antibiotic is a last resort. If they are using antibiotic, they need to be segregated out from the grid for a minimum 15 days. If the withdrawal period of an antibiotic is 7 days, double that period. That milk cannot be taken into consumers. How do we handle our milk? How do we milk? For example, if you really look at how the milking happens in a conventional system, the dung, the urine, the hair, everything falls into the milk. That actually contaminates milk in the farm. When you do our farm visit, you will come to know how we are doing machine milking. How a dung, urine, everything never ever enters into the milk. And also you will come to know how we can milk a cow in a very, very scientific way using machine milking without a human hand intervention. You will come to know how we are handling it. This is very, very critical. We just ignore these aspects because we never get to visit a farm. Never get to visit a farm where I am eating my own food. This is very, very critical from a consumer point of view. You should be able to explain these 3 points. What are the 3 points in a summary? You can see here every packet has a story now, 3-point story we carry. That is, how do we take care of our cows? How do we take care of our soil? And how do we take care of our milk? You are very expensive. The organic food is expensive because food in general is expensive. Why we get such a cheap food? You need to really understand. We are taking cheap food at the cost of our health. We need to really understand. Organic production systems cost money. For example, I can't buy a subsidized manure. All your chemical manures are subsidized to the extent of 50%. Organic farmer has to make his own manure. Seeds are subsidized in a conventional system. Organic farmer has to make his own seeds. Organic farmer has to take care of the soil. He has to learn to make his own manure. While from a conventional system, an industry makes a manure and supplies to the farmer. That's the reason the organic farming is expensive. Second aspect of organic farming, why it is expensive, is consumer support doesn't exist. Lot of farmers don't get into organic farming because there is no support for organic farming. As a consumer, you should support organic food so that more farmers can take up organic food and cost of organic food production will come down. But consumer adaptation is very, very critical to make sure the food production cost comes down. Over a period of time this will happen, but it has to start now. It has to start with you as a consumer. The questions gets asked, what's the big deal? You have put a label, now you're saying cost is higher, but why I still should make a choice? What is there in for me? The entire thing as a consumer, it is about your health. Please look after your health. If you don't look after your health, nobody will come for your help. No food company will come for your help. So organic food is a sure way of better health. Over a period of time, if you keep, for example, take milk. If you taking a conventional milk laden with antibiotics, over a period of time you develop antibiotic resistance. Even if you fall ill, if you get injected with an antibiotic, it won't respond. That's what happens. Same thing is true with chemicals which are used in the soil, actually gets into our food system. Good example of a chemical in our food system, even in mother's breast milk, is DDT. Of course it is banned now. It is there everywhere. We use it indiscriminately and now it has got into our food system. If at all we are serious about our health, make an attempt to read the book The Silent Spring by Rachel Carlson. It's amazing documentation she did in 1961, explaining where we are heading, why it is a health disaster based on current farming practices which are based on chemical farming. That's the reason, as a consumer, you should embrace your health, support organic food. The fourth point I want to also, so what's the big deal? Fine. Consumers still might have a doubt. What we need to really say is, this is the only way we can secure future for our children. Supporting sustainable farming so that our children get to see a better future. It is known fact. For example, if you take India, average age of a farmer is 50 years. We are a young country of 30 years of age. Therefore, technically, in 40 to 50 years, there will be nobody to produce food for us and our children and our next generation. To make sure that food production systems continue to support our generations to come, we need to change current farming practices. As a consumer, if you don't support us, we can't change farming practices. Every rupee you pay, actually, it is helping to build that ecosystem for our children, our future.